who do you think is the most important player on this offense?
Yeah, I think the most obvious answer for everybody is George Kittle, and he's the best player on this offense, and he is important, but to me, the most important player is Deebo Samuel. Yesterday, it felt like the first game that Deebo was back, and all of a sudden the 2019 offense is back. He set the tone for that game with that early little, I guess you can call it a pass, but it was that little flick run. Chip Kelly used to call it within the first 3 plays of every game. And his quarterback stats would look great on the first drive, too, because of that play. Quentin Patton was really good at it. But not to go off topic, but Deebo Samuel, by not going down fighting and getting an extra 20 yards, he set the tone at the beginning of the game, and he finished that game the way somebody who's a tone setter does. He brings more than Kittle to me. Deebo Samuel, with his ability to run on these reverses, the way he wants to invite contact, the way he wants to take contact on, sets the entire tone for this offense and sets the physical tone for the entire team. This is the kind of tough team they want to be, and Deebo Samuel is what best represents that. And it's not that Kittle or Mostert and these other guys aren't tough. It's just that Deebo is, to me, the meanest, the toughest, the biggest, the strongest, and he wants to really impose his physical will on people on the field.
I agree with you up to a point. I do believe that the Niners offense really took off when he became a starter. I mean, Kittle was racking up numbers on bad teams, but I'm going to split it. To me, there are co-MVPs of this offense. I got to give it to Mostert because, the rise of the 2019 offense also coincided with the rise of Mostert. Those guys together. And as great as Deebo is at the end of rounds and stuff, you're only going to do that 3-4 times a game. And as a wide receiver, he's still improving. Raheem Mostert, until he gets hurt, is running like a top 5 running back in the league. He is so strong, and he's running with such ferocity and gaining yards after contact in ways that he didn't even last year when he was averaging 6 yards a carry. I know what you're going to say. The guy needs to prove that he can be durable and make it through a whole game and get to have a starter's workload. I agree. I'm just saying Deebo Samuel missed some time too. That guy's had injuries as well. When I think they both have a tremendous impact. And only reason I would put Mostert in the co-MVP conversation is when he's running the ball 20 times a game. If he can do that, it's hard to beat him. It's really hard to beat the Niners. He can control a game in a way that maybe Deebo can't, just because of it's hard to get him that many touches.
I have to disagree, and it's not anything against Raheem Mostert. He's actually been a really good player, but the run game was excellent against Cleveland last year, and Raheem Mostert was a special teamer. They had one of the best run game performances I've ever seen in my life against Carolina, and Raheem Mostert was a special teamer. They dominated Green Bay on Sunday Night Football with run and pass, and Raheem Mostert was a special teamer. But what coincided with all 3 of those, actually maybe not the Cleveland game, but the other 2 games, was that Deebo Samuel was excellent. Deebo Samuel had a couple of great runs. So I think it is Deebo Samuel.
Maybe.
It's nothing against Mostert.
I remember he played well in 2018 in Green Bay. Like, I feel like Mostert has been ready to break out for a while. It's just he got hurt. He didn't get his opportunity. And then when he finally
fumbled.
There were little things that were going on. But he was averaging like 7 yards a carry in 2018 before he got – it was a small sample size. But he's an enigma. There's something about Raheem Mostert, and I'm not going to put it all on Deebo Samuel's present. I think Mostert is an excellent top 10 back, no matter who's playing wide receiver. But, yeah, there is something – like the identity of the offense is Deebo, because he's the gadgetness and he's all the creativity. Like, Mostert's great and you need to have a running back, but Kyle expresses his creativity through Deebo more so than Mostert, more so than Kittle. Kittle's a safety blanket. Mostert is the basis of your offense, and Deebo Samuel is all the fun stuff.
Yeah, and I think Deebo Samuel is a legit wide receiver. I think often gets
he is for sure.
Right,
yeah.
He is a legit wide receiver, but yesterday's game plan was just about getting the ball into his hands. And I think I do want to defend you in your criticisms of Kyle. I think watching yesterday's game, is why you criticize Kyle.
Right.
Yeah, the quarterback play is so-so. It's not good. Right. Yeah, the offensive line play is not great, but Kyle has proven consistently that he can cover those two things and get the ball into the hands of Deebo.
It's not like I'm saying like, hey, Kyle, you stink. I'm like, Kyle, you're good. You can do this. I know it's hard, but you can do it.
Right. You're so good that you can overcome these things by doing the things that you did yesterday. And now, it might not be sustainable.
You've done it before. Yes.
Right.
Yes.
But it's the best thing to win the current games.
Exactly. Beat the Rams. Don't lose to the Dolphins. Just get yourself through 1 week at a time, and you did.